Guys. Today I'll be talking to you about tea. This is one of the world's most favorite beverages. It's actually the most consumed, following water, of course, which everyone in the world likes drinking. So tea's official scientific name is Camellia sinensis, and it was originally domesticated in Eastern Asia, but it is now grown in subtropical and tropical regions all across the world. Um, there are a number of different strains of Camellia sinensis. The most popular ones are Camellia sinensis, which is the one grown in China and Japan and some of India, and the other popular one is Camellia sinensis Assam, which is the strain which produces Assam black tea, which you might have heard of. So tea has a long, steeped history in East Asian culture. It is believed in legend that tea may have first been consumed as long ago as 2737 BCE. They think that in the legend there was a famous herbalist whose servant was boiling water for him when under a tea tree, when, not to be confused with a different plant called the tea tree, when the leaves fell into the water that was boiling and the servant didn't notice, and when this man tried the tea, he was pleasantly surprised at how it tasted, and it took off. And for some more solid physical evidence of when tea was used, there were containers of tea buried with emperors of the Han Dynasty, which ruled from 206 BCE to 220 CE in China. So it's definitely been a beverage that has been consumed for at least 2,000 years, which is a pretty long-standing choice. So, uh, traditional Chinese medicine has been using tea potentially longer than it's been consumed as a beverage, probably before the Han Dynasty was founded. And now it's one of the central prescriptions for traditional Chinese medicine, and it has different considered abilities to stimulate mental clarity, soothe emotions, invigorate vital energy, relax muscles, improve digestion, increase longevity, and so forth. So it's sort of a panacea in Chinese medicine. It does a little something for just about any problem you have, of course, in association with other necessary components of the medicine. So, a little bit on uh, the differences in tea production, because this is important. It yields different compounds for different types of tea. Um, White tea is a kind of tea which is wilted, but it's not oxidized. And so this yields different compounds than something like black tea, which is wilted and oxidized. Um, and green tea is unoxidized and unwilted, which it's believed that green tea is the most beneficial of all varieties of tea made. Um, but each one has different chemicals which are made in its processing that potentially have different benefits. So tea today in medicine uh, has a lot of different chemicals with medical applications. Flavonoids are important because they exhibit antioxidant properties, and they can also suppress cancerous free radicals, a little like curcumin and turmeric. Tea also can bolster the immune system, some studies show. Tea contains fluoride, which supports healthy enamel. Tea also is believed to help in weight management and obesity prevention, partially because it's 0 calorie and it's better to drink a 0 calorie beverage than a beverage which has a lot of calories if you're trying to keep weight off. Also, tea has catechins, which they shift the metabolism in the body, which allows the body to continue burning calories at higher rates when it might not otherwise. Um, Moving forward, some precautions with tea. Uh, Tea has caffeine, and caffeine is associated with a mild dependence, mild physical dependence. So if you uh, cease to consume caffeine after you've been consuming it regularly, you might experience some mild headaches and a little bit of tiredness or discomfort because your body has gotten used to functioning on caffeine. Another issue with tea consumption is if someone has an iron deficiency, the flavonoids in tea interfere with the absorption of non-heme iron. So you gotta be careful if you know you have an iron deficiency and talk with your doctor about if it's okay to drink tea. Also, today, concentrated tea found in tea extract could potentially have additional and more intense side effects like nausea, diarrhea, and restlessness. So, some other uses of tea. Tea is often put inside of lotions because it has a lot of dermal benefits, including antioxidants and flavonoids. And also, tea is popularly used in steaming, as you see in this image here, where you tend to towel over your head and you inhale the steam, and it also benefits the skin on your face. Uh, and another way to do tea steaming is at spas, they will pump steam into a bowl of tea, and then the whole room fills with tea steam. Uh, Also, modern technology has created this tea extract, which confers many of tea's effects in a little bit more concentration, but it does have the potential side effects which were previously mentioned. So some interesting facts about tea. Tea used to be the form of currency in ancient China. They would compress it into bricks and stamp it to indicate its value. Higher quality tea leaves had greater value, and they would actually sometimes consume the tea that they used as currency. Um, it took about 2,000 leaves of tea to make a pound of tea. So you imagine a lot of labor went into making this currency. Um, Also, iced tea, a popular beverage in America, was invented in America at the Chicago World Trade Fair in 1904, when a massive heat wave hit, and a tea connoisseur who had brought a lot of tea to Chicago still wanted to make money. Uh, Tea bags, which were also invented around the same time as the Chicago World Trade Fair, brought tea to a much larger demographic of people. But unfortunately, tea bags prevent leaves from fully steeping, and this reduces the benefits which tea confers. Today, a current issue that's been popping up in the news a lot that I've seen with tea is its connection to throat cancer, specifically in China. A lot of times in China, people drink the tea before it's really cooled enough. And so, in addition to smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol, this is significantly increasing their chances of developing esophageal cancer. I think that tea is a really valuable beverage that I think, with the studies which have been conducted and hopefully future studies, will show a lot of promise in helping people live healthier lives, and I hope that it gets to a larger number of people in America than it does today, and that higher quality tea comes to America so that we can really get all the benefits from this wonderful plant. Thank you guys so much. And these are my references.